Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. This is Yusha, your host of the Daily Lessons podcast. If you're new here, welcome first of all to the podcast. Um, what do we talk about here? Well, we essentially just talk about basically whatever is in the name. I make an episode a day, give you a lesson, you can learn from it. Mostly life advice, sometimes some other stuff, and I try to benefit you in any way possible. And guess what? All for a very small fee of just hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. For me, means the world to me. Costs you absolutely nothing, like no effort whatsoever. Just a tap of your finger. I really appreciate that. Now, let's get into the episode real quick because these episodes are very unfiltered and very raw. I do have some notes that I kind of read off of, but I basically, for the most part, do it in one take. Sometimes it takes me two takes, or like I split it up into like two different videos, just because maybe somebody like walks through that door, or maybe I get like a phone call, so then my phone stops recording this video. So essentially, like sometimes like things like that just happen. But like from the title of this video that you probably see, it gets easier, man. Here's something that I learned from BoJack Horseman. Now, I've never watched this show like ever, but this is one clip that has came across my TikTok For You page, and there's like a lot of like hope core content on it as well. And there's this one quote from the show. It says, "It gets easier. Every day it gets a little easier, but you got to do it every day. That's the hard part, but it does get easier." Now, if I could sum up life in one quote, it would honestly just be that, man. Unfortunately, we all have to do a lot of things on a consistent and daily basis, especially when we don't feel like it, whether it be trying to get into shape, whether it be going to work, whether it be just hiding our emotions, it doesn't matter. You constantly have to do these things every single day, and you have to be consistent with it. And that's really just the unfortunate reality of life, but that's also the fortunate reality of life as well. How is it unfortunate, you may ask? Well, it's unfortunate because it doesn't matter how you're feeling, unfortunately. You just got to go do it. And you got to go do it every single day. And that's the only way that it ever gets easier. Like, I wish that anytime that anybody was hurt, the sun would stop for them and like the next day would just never come. But you have to keep on going, unfortunately, right? You have to still pay bills. You have to wake up and make sure that your kid has food on the table. You have to make sure you have to wake up and go to work to make sure that your parents have their medication on time. Whatever the case might be, you have to keep on going. And that's the unfortunate reality of life. But also at the same time, it's two sides of the same coin, essentially. It's also fortunate because that's what helps us progress through life as well. Imagine if the world actually stopped every single time that you were feeling sad. You just never make it through life. What an unfortunate way to live. If something is just not making you or forcing you to move on, you'd probably be stuck in that situation. Like, think about this. So many times we cannot get ourselves out of a rut, but life just forces us to get out of a rut, man. And that's how it is. Like, it's unfortunate that life doesn't stop for us, but it's also fortunate that life doesn't stop for us as well. Because sometimes we might think that what we need is a break, but life knows that if we get a break and we just sit there and we start thinking about our problems and our feelings constantly 24/7, which already happens at times, but we have nothing else to keep us going, then we probably do something very drastic that we'll eventually regret. So that's the hard part about life, unfortunately, right? You have to keep on going no matter what. And that's the hard part of it as well. Like like the episode, like the show said, BoJack Horseman. It gets easier, but you have to do it every single day, and that's the hard part. And it's true, like, even if you want to build muscle, you want to go to the gym, you want to get promoted at work, you want a loving relationship, like, how many hard things do we have to do? How many times do we actually wake up and say, oh my god, I'm so excited to go to work today? You don't. But you just got to keep on doing it, and then eventually it becomes like second nature to you, right? Your brain then just goes on autopilot when you're driving to work, and when you keep on doing those tasks at work every single day, it becomes so easy and so fluid, and you're just constantly in like this flow state as well. So it becomes easier. But that's the hard part. You have to do it every single day before it gets easier. And I know what you're thinking, that you're probably feeling hopeless right now because you constantly keep on doing the same thing every single day and you don't see things changing. But they eventually will. You know, I'm speaking from experience as well. Especially on the days that I don't feel like doing anything, especially on the days that I just want to give up, on those particular days when I decide that I'm going to keep on going, that I am not about to lose to life, the next day becomes so much easier for me. And that's with all tasks that I have. That's with all responsibilities, right? You keep on doing the things that are hard for you on the days that are hard. I promise you, eventually the difficulty level of life, the difficulty of the day itself is going to pass. Things are going to become much easier for you, and especially the tasks, they're going to feel like a breeze. But that's the hard part, man. A lot of people just give up when, you know, they don't see the results. They don't feel like doing it. They hate fighting themselves. But that's really just life, man. You have to fight so much of your brain. You have to fight so much of your heart. And you have to just continue on going. Anyways, I hope this helped. I know I was trying to make sure that I, portray life in general in a very good but realistic fashion as well. I don't want you to be pessimistic about your life, and neither do I want you to be overly optimistic. Optimism is great, but just don't be overly optimistic to the point where you're just living in la la land. It's not healthy for you. But keep a good lookout for your life. Make sure you have a good and positive attitude about yourself as well. And keep on doing the hard things every single day, man. That's the only way that it gets easier. Anyways, guys, I'm signing out. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And I hope you guys take care. Keep on, stay hard. From David Goggins, of course.